Hello everyone. Today I am here with another important topic. This time Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. We will study Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 only on exam point of view, or you can say we will study the polity, not the politics. Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 was passed in 12 December 2019. This is Citizenship Amendment Act, not the Citizenship Act. The original act, which is called Citizenship Act of 1955, it has been amended into many times. It was amended on 1986, 1992, 2003, 2005, 2015 and recently on 12 December 2019. Now, why Citizenship Act of 1955 was passed? Our constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. Article 11 of our constitution has given the power to the Parliament of India to decide about the citizenship. That is why it was passed. That is why Citizenship Act of 1955 was passed. Since then, it has been amended, as I already mentioned, on 1986, 1992, 2003, 2005, 2016, 15 and on the last, which was 12 December 2019. Now, it is in the news. Why? What actually is Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019? Any person belonging to number 1 Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi or Christian community from 3 countries, namely Afghanistan, Bangladesh or Pakistan, who entered into India on or before 31st December 2014 shall not be treated as illegal migrant. What I am saying, any person belonging to these minority communities, namely Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi or Christian from 3 different countries, namely Afghanistan, Bangladesh or Pakistan, who entered into India on or before 31st December 2014 shall not be treated as illegal migrant. They will not be treated as illegal migrant. Now, who is said to be illegal migrant? Question is, who is said to be illegal migrant? In India, basically on 2 conditions, a person is said to be illegal migrant. Number 1 condition is, if any foreigner enter into India without valid passport or travel document. Number 1 condition is, if any foreigner enter into India without valid passport or travel document, then he is said to be illegal migrant. Number 2 condition, when a person is said to be illegal migrant in India, that is, the person who is entering into India with valid passport or travel document, but they are staying beyond the permitted period of time. That means the passport and travel document has got expiry. They are staying in India after the expiry of passport or travel document, then also the person is said to be illegal migrant. Now condition is, if an illegal migrant is staying in India, then what could be done? Obviously he is what, illegal migrant, then he will be punished. Now in India, an illegal migrant is punished by two ways, or by using two laws. An illegal migrant is punished in India. Number one law is Section 3 of the Passport Entry into India Act 1920, and number 2 is Foreigners Act of 1946. By using these two laws, an illegal migrant is punished in India. What I am saying, in India, an illegal migrant is punished by two laws, by using two laws. Number 1, Section 3 of the Passport Entry into India Act 1920, and number 2 is Foreigners Act of 1946. By using two laws, an illegal migrant is punished in India. Now question is, these religious minorities of Hindu, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jain, Parsi or Christian community from Afghanistan, Bangladesh or Pakistan who entered into India on or before 31st December 2014, they will not be treated as illegal migrant. Since they will not be treated as illegal migrant, therefore they will not be punished by these two laws. Okay. Now, if these foreigners will not be treated as illegal migrant, then how they can be treated? India is giving them a chance to become the citizen of India. India is giving them to become the citizen of India by amending Citizenship Act of 1955. If these foreigners, they are not treated as illegal migrant, then what India is doing? India is giving them a chance to become the citizen of India. India is giving them a chance to become the citizen of India by amending the Citizenship Act of 1955. Now, what actually the Citizenship Amendment Act of 1955 says? The Citizenship Act of 1955 says a person can become the citizen of India by 5 different ways. Number 1, by birth. Number 2, by descent. Number 3, by acquisition of territory. Number 4, by registration. Number 5, by naturalization. The Citizenship Act of 1955 has provided 5 different ways by which a foreigner can become the citizen of India. Those 5 different ways are: number 1, by birth, जन्म से; by descent, by माता पिता के वजह से; by acquisition of territory, that means we have acquired the Goa and Puducherry, and the peoples of Goa and Puducherry, they automatically become the citizen of India. Then number 4, by registration. Number 5, by naturalization. These two process of registration and naturalization, okay, in these two process a person have to spend sometimes in India, in order to become the citizen of India through registration and naturalization, a person has to spend certain amount of time in India. Now I am going to say how through naturalization a person in India can become a person, that is a foreigner can become the citizen of India. Now I am going to explain how through naturalization a foreigner can become the citizen of India. For example, see, X is a person. See, X is a person. Okay, X is a person. He is staying in India from 9 September 2006. X is a person who came to India on 9 September 2006. Today is 9 September. Today is 9 September 2020. So X is a person who came to India on 2006 9 September. That means 14 years back, X came to India from foreign. Today is 9 September 2020. Now out of these 14 years, the X must stay at least 11 years in India. Now out of this 14 years, out of this past 14 years, X must stay 11 years in India. And from today, if I consider from today 1 year, that means on 9 September 2021, that X can become the citizen of India. I am explaining once more how X can become the citizen of India through the process of naturalization. X is the person who came to India on 9 September 2006. That means from today 14 years back he came to India. Out of these 14 years, he must stay minimum 11 years in India. 14 years back X came to India. Out of these 14 years, 11 years must stay in India. And from today, 1 year later, that means from today is 9 September 2020, 1 year later means 9 September 2021, he can become the citizen of India. That means 11 plus 1 years. If a foreigner stay 11 plus 1 years in India, then he can become the citizen of India. Now, what 2019 Citizenship Amendment Act is doing, that 11 years is reducing to what? 5 years. That 11 years is reducing to what? 5 years. Okay. 2019 Citizenship Amendment Act is doing what? Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019 is reducing these 11 years to 5 years. That is what the problem is. 2019 Citizenship Amendment Act is doing, is reducing 11 years to 5 years. So what I was saying, that X is a person who came to India on 9 September 2006. Today is 9 September 2020. So 14 years back that X person came to India. Out of these 14 years, he must stay 11 years in India. Out of these 14 years, he must stay 11 years in India. And if you consider from today up to 2021 9 September, that means from today up to 12 months. Okay, from today up to 12 months he must stay in India in order to become the citizen of India through the process of naturalization. Okay, what I am saying, X is the person who came to India 14 years back, that is on 9 September 2006. Today is 9 September 2020, and out of these 14 years he must stay in India 11 years, and from today up to 12 months he must stay in India. Then on 9 September 2021 he can become the citizen of India. This is the naturalization process through which a foreigner can become the citizen of India, and this was in the original Citizenship Act of 1955. And this Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, this 11 years have been reduced to 5 years. Now, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 will not be implemented in all the states. There are few states or few areas where CA will not be implemented, especially those states which comes under inner line permit, and those areas within the states that comes under 6th schedule areas. That means those states in which inner line permit is there, in those states CA will not be implemented, and those areas within the states that comes under 6th schedule areas, in those areas also CA will not be implemented. Basically, if we see the northeastern region, suppose this is Arunachal region, then this is Nagaland, then this is Mizoram. Okay, I am just drawing randomly. So Arunachal, Nagaland, and this is Mizoram. These 3 states having inner line permit. These 3 states are having inner line permits, and during CA protest, Manipur was also given. During CA protest, Manipur was also given ILP, inner line permit. So in these 4 states, obviously CA will not be implemented since they comes under inner line permit. Similarly, if we talk about Assam, then in Meghalaya, then in Tripura, okay, and in Mizoram, okay. So there are few portions in Assam, for example, BTR region. In BTR region and in Dima Hasao and Karbi Alang region, these regions comes under 6th schedule areas. So in this region within Assam, CA will not be implemented. Similarly, in Meghalaya, barring few places, all region comes under 6 schedules. So Meghalaya also, it is no fear because CA will not be implemented. And in Tripura, there are few areas which comes under 6 schedule areas. There CA will not be implemented. And Mizoram is a common, it is having both inner line permit as well as it comes under 6 schedule areas. So no need to worry for them because CA will not be implemented in Mizoram. Okay, so now next, CA 2019, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 led to huge protests in the state of Assam by some organizations, as their identity is under great threat. In order to pacify the movement, the government had appointed 14-member committee headed by Biplab Sharma in order to implement Clause 6 of Assam Accord. The Clause 6 of Assam Accord, which envisages constitutional, administrative and legislative safeguards to protect, promote and preserve Assamese society, Assamese culture, Assamese language, etc. The committee had already submitted its recommendation to Home Ministry in addition to define. That means the committee had also recommended for the definition of Assamese. Now, Ka-19, this the organization that I am talking about in Assam, according to these organizations, Ka-19 violates the Assam Accord. As we know that the Assam Accord, which was the outcome of Assam agitation, Assam agitation was held for 6 long years, and outcome of the Assam agitation was Assam Accord. In Assam agitations, many students, innocent students, they were killed. After that, Assam Accord was signed, and this Ka-19 violates the Assam Accord because Assam, according to the Assam Accord, it had set out a date for the foreigners as 24th March 1971. That means any foreigners, they came to Assam from 24th March 1971, they will be detected and they will be deported. But this Ka-19, which allows the citizenship for the date which of 31st December 2014. So, Ka-19 allows the citizenship for 31st December 2014. That means those 6 religious minorities from 3 different countries, if they enter into India before or on 31 December 2014, they will be considered as, or they will be given what? Citizenship of India. So both is contradict. So these organizations, they are very angry since Ka-19 violates Assam Accord. In addition to that, Ka-19 also affects NRC. If we see the Assam Accord, in order to fulfill the objective of Assam Accord, NRC was issued, and in the process of NRC, lots of money have been spent in addition to human resources. Around 52,000 people, government officials have been used for a long duration, and it is many organizations and many experts are saying that those who are excluded, or those who are excluded from the citizenship of Assam, they will be included as a citizen of Assam through the Ka-19. Now, why the government passed this act? According to government, these 6 religious minorities from 3 different countries is under religious persecution. They are making their point of view more stronger by comparing the population of Hindus in both Pakistan and Bangladesh during partition and at present. Percentage of Hindu population during the partition was approximately 20% both for East Pakistan and West Pakistan, which has drastically reduced to single digit at present. So before partition, both for East Pakistan as well as West Pakistan, the Hindu population was almost 20%, but this has drastically been reduced to single digit at present. Again, opposition is also arguing that this act violates the Article 14 of our Constitution, since the acts distinguish citizens on the basis of religion. The government is replying that reasonable classification by using intelligible differentia is allowed in Article 14, since these religious minorities are under persecution. It is the need of the hour to protect them and to open the gates for them. Number 3, opposition is also arguing that why Ahmadiyyas and Shias of Pakistan are not included, since their conditions are also very pathetic there. Constitutional experts are replying that Ahmadiyyas and Shias, which are not religious minorities, they come under sectarian minorities. That means they are divided in the religions itself. They are different in the Islam only. They advocate Islam only, but different version of Islam. So their religions are same. So they comes under sectarian minorities, not religion minorities. Since this bill is specific to religious minorities, so government is saying that Article 14 doesn't allow over-inclusive as well as under-inclusive. Moreover, Ahmadiyyas and Shias of Pakistan advocate different version of Islam which are not similar to Indian Muslims. It may create more problems to Indian Muslims. Again, the act is giving special treatment to these 6 minority communities as a group. As a group only they are getting the special treatment, but as an individual everyone can become the citizen through the naturalization as per Citizenship Act of 1955. So everyone is welcome, everyone can become the citizen of India. Only this act is giving the special treatment to these 6 minority communities where the 11 years of naturalization have been reduced to 5 years that I already spoken. Now, when this bill become the act, number of petitions have been filed in Supreme Court in order to strike down this act. So the matter is in the Supreme Court. So let's watch the verdict, what the Supreme Court will give the verdict. That's all. Thank you very much.